At 73, Audrey Meadows finally decided to break her silence about the man who helped define her career and nearly destroyed her in the process. For decades, audiences adored The Honeymooners, the classic sitcom that turned Jackie Gleason and Audrey Meadows into television royalty. Their on-screen chemistry as Ralph and Alice Kramden was electric. The bickering, the love, the laughter. It felt so real that fans believed it had to come from genuine affection behind the scenes. But as Audrey would reveal in her later years, what the world saw on TV was only half the story. "Jackie was brilliant," she once said, her voice trembling with both admiration and exhaustion. "But he was also one of the most difficult men I've ever worked with." That confession opened a door to a truth that had been whispered in Hollywood for years, that Gleason's genius came with a dark, unpredictable side that everyone around him had to endure. When The Honeymooners first aired in 1955, it was a cultural phenomenon. Gleason, already a powerful figure in entertainment, demanded complete creative control. Audrey, who had been rejected at first for the role of Alice because producers thought she was too glamorous, fought her way back into the part by secretly submitting unflattering photos of herself in housewife clothes. Gleason was impressed by her determination, and their partnership was born. But soon after, the reality of working with the Great One hit her hard. Gleason was known for his volcanic temper, his perfectionism, and his unpredictable moods. Some days he was charming, funny, and generous. Other days, he could cut people down with a single word. Audrey recalled one rehearsal where Gleason abruptly walked out after a single line wasn't delivered the way he wanted. "You never knew which Jackie you were going to get," she admitted. "One day, he'd make you feel like family. The next, you'd feel like a stranger in his world." Despite the chaos, Audrey respected his talent deeply. She said Gleason's comedic instincts were unmatched, his timing, his expressions, the way he could make silence itself funny. "He didn't just play Ralph Kramden," she said. "He was Ralph Kramden." Every ounce of frustration and pride in that character came from his own life. But the cost of that genius, she revealed, was emotional exhaustion for everyone who worked with him. Gleason's love for alcohol was legendary, and when he drank, his moods intensified. Audrey spoke gently of those moments, never attacking him outright, but her words painted a clear picture. He was fighting demons he never truly escaped. As years passed and The Honeymooners became a part of television history, the relationship between Audrey and Jackie softened. Time, as it often does, brought understanding. When she was asked late in life whether she resented him, Audrey smiled and said, "No, because he made me better. He forced me to dig deeper. Without Jackie, there would be no Alice Kramden, and without Alice, I wouldn't be who I became." It was a stunning display of grace, especially considering the turmoil that often surrounded them. Behind the laughter, Audrey had quietly endured personal heartbreak, career stalls, health struggles, and the shadow of being forever tied to one iconic role. But even then, she refused to let bitterness define her. In her final interviews before her death, Audrey spoke with both love and melancholy about her time with Gleason. "He had a beautiful heart buried under all that noise," she said softly. "He didn't always know how to show it, but I saw glimpses, small moments where he was kind, vulnerable, almost childlike." Those words redefined the way fans saw their favorite television couple. What looked like constant sparring on screen was, in truth, a complicated dance between two people who understood each other better than anyone else ever could. When Jackie Gleason died in 1987, Audrey reportedly wept privately, refusing interviews for weeks. "We fought like husband and wife," she later admitted. "And when he was gone, it felt like losing one." By the time she turned 73, Audrey Meadows was ready to tell the truth, not to expose Jackie Gleason, but to humanize him. She wanted people to see the man behind the legend, the flawed genius behind the laughter. "Comedy," she said in her final note, "comes from pain. Jackie taught me that." Her truth wasn't one of scandal, but of forgiveness. It was the confession of a woman who had lived in the shadow of greatness, survived it, and emerged with her dignity intact. And as the curtain finally fell on her life, Fans realized that the heart of the Honeymooners wasn't Gleason's booming voice. It was Audrey's quiet strength, the grace that turned chaos into art.